And welcome into Talk of the Town here on Channel 57. I'm your host, Rich Reynolds, and happy that you decided to join us today because we've got a lot of ground to cover and a lot of different topics, as always, and some are just out there and a lot of fun. Something we have never talked about yet on this show is the life of being a locksmith. And so that's where we bring in Jake Madison here from Locks and Unlocks in Stoughton. And Jake, thanks for joining us.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, very interesting. To me, there's so many different careers, so many ways that you can go about things, something to do as a vocation. You decided on being a locksmith. So
Yes,
what drew you to that, and what do you like about doing that?
Well, I love the variety that my job provides for me. It's something different every day. It's not monotonous. But one of the best things that I like about my job is the aspect of helping people.
Okay.
As a Christian, I try to incorporate the idea of helping people into everything that my job entails, everything from our phone number, which is 877-HELP, to our motto, which is we're not in the business of locksmithing. We're in the business of helping people. Just happen to know a lot about locks, keys, and safes.
Wow, okay, that's very interesting. I would guess locksmithing's got to be more challenging now than it was 30 years ago. I'm thinking, back in the day, my first car was a 65 Impala. And if I ever locked my keys in the car, all I needed was a hanger to open up the door and get it out. I'm guessing the way the cars are made now today and stuff like that, and that's probably one aspect of what you do, it's got to be a lot more challenging now, isn't it?
Yeah, keeping up with the changing automotive locksmithing world is difficult. A lot of locksmiths are getting out of it and not doing that. We have decided to invest the equipment and the training to be able to keep up with the ever-changing automotive locksmithing world. For instance, if you were to lose your keys for your car on a Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock, your options are: one, have it towed to the dealership, wait for them to schedule it, which is probably going to be Monday, pay whatever prices they want to charge you, and then get a ride back to get your car, that type of thing. We can come out on site, cut a key for it that day, and have you back on the road and have your car for the weekend, that type of thing. So we can provide service right on site to make keys for computer chip cars and all that kind of stuff.
Wow, okay, yeah, and that's and there's so many different ones, it would seem like, nowadays, and so much harder to do, with all that challenge. So as far as other locksmiths that are in the area, you're saying some of them are getting out of it. What else sets your business apart from the other locksmiths?
Well, we have the ability to come out on site, make keys for cars where other locksmiths don't. We've got the computerized equipment in the truck itself, so we don't have to go back to the shop, cut a key, bring it back, or outsource it to somewhere else and take more time. We do it right on site. And a lot of other companies don't have the equipment to hook up to the car's computer to program the key. For instance, like your Toyota Prius. It's got a prox key you just keep in your pocket or your purse. You just push the button on the dash, and the equipment to be able to program that into your car is expensive, and not all locksmiths want to incorporate that into their expenses and carry that, and we've chosen to do that.
Absolutely, very interesting. So aside from the automotive stuff, which is what a lot of people will think of right away with locksmiths, how else can you help people as a locksmith?
Well, locksmithing is typically broken into 3 categories. You have automotive, commercial, and residential. We're proficient in all 3 of them. So not only besides the automotive aspect, but for residential customers, we can come out to your house and rekey the locks. We do a lot of rekeying for new home purchases, to change locks when people move in or move out. We can add deadbolts to a house. We can even reprogram the garage door openers on doors.
Okay, so yeah, a lot of aspects to it. How about commercial customers? What do you do to help them?
Well, for commercial customers, we have a fantastic thing. It's called master keying. And then if you've ever been in an apartment building, there's a ton of doors as well as maintenance closets, electrical rooms, things like that. And maintenance people have to carry like a shoebox full of keys to get into all those doors. We can make a master key system that gives you 1 key that gets into all the doors while keeping each individual tenant's keys separate. So that way the maintenance people have to carry 1 key, which makes their life easier. And also the tenant's safer because that way, police, firefighters, emergency personnel have access, or immediate access, to the whole entire building in the event of an emergency.
Now, I think the other thing, too, people want to know, how do I find a reputable locksmith? How do I know the difference? How do you know if a locksmith's reputable or not?
Well, there are several reputable locksmiths in the Madison area like myself. However, because the state of Wisconsin doesn't regulate locksmithing, anyone can claim to be a locksmith.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you really need to do your research, do your homework, and find a reputable service provider before it becomes an emergency and you just take whoever you can get.
Good advice.
There are several resources for that. ALOA, which is the Associated Locksmiths of America, has a Find a Locksmith link. You can find a reputable locksmith through their website. Asking friends and neighbors who they've used, who they trust, is a great resource. And then last but not least, you can read reviews on website to find out how other people perceive that service provider and find someone that they recommend that you feel you can trust.
Good stuff. Jake, thanks for being here. We'll have more right after this on Talk of the Town.
Thanks.
And welcome back, and something that I hope you find entertaining because we have an entertainer here. In fact, she is a singer, songwriter, comedian, performer. She does it all as we welcome in Celia. And Celia, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Rich.
Yeah, nice to have you here and nice to have you going through Wisconsin. You were telling me you're based out of Prescott, Arizona right now, which is a gorgeous town, by the way. If you ever get a chance to go and go to that area. But what are you doing as you're touring through Wisconsin? What are some of the events that you're doing?
Well, I'm from Wisconsin, so I come back usually like once a year.
Okay.
And I'll be here in May and June. And to work backwards, I'm doing shows in Madison, Lake Mills, and Dubuque, Iowa in June. And this weekend, I'll be doing something called Laugh Fest of the Midwest.
Huh, okay.
So Friday the 13th, I'm teaching a voice workshop all day long. I love teaching people how to use their voices and what their voices are capable of. And then I'll be offering a performance at Laugh Fest of the Midwest this weekend. You can find all that on my website.
Okay, so your performances, I'm guessing, kind of a little bit all-encompassing. What can someone expect when they go to one of your performances?
Oh, thank you. So I have lots of different recordings. They're here, everything from Celtic, folk, spiritual, comedy. I have a storytelling CD. Lately, I've been doing meditative and yoga music, and my most recent album I'm working on now would be, I'm calling it Red-Headed Capricorn Everyday Goddess Music with an Edge. So I love variety, and in a live situation, I might do something like a live loop where I'll do something really heartfelt and lyrically opening, and then I'll do something crazy with my hair, put on some strange or funny glasses, and do some comedy like Tina Fey or Gilda Radner. And I love to leave my audiences with their hearts cracked wide open and their funny bone thoroughly entertained.
Excellent. So that's what looping is? Could you explain a little bit more what
Looping.
looping
Oh, thank you.
is?
Looping, yes. So I use a device called a looper. And what I'll do is I'll record a track and then play it back. And then on top of that, I'll record again and play those two things back. And then I'll record again and play those three things back. So by the end, I've recorded my drum, my guitar, my voice, my synthesizers. And by the end of a song, I've created a full tapestry of sound. A lot of artists will do that. Say a guitar player will play a rhythm track, and then they'll play a lead line over the top of that. That's complex enough, but what I'm doing is a full song. By the end, there's a choir, and I lovingly call it Every Narcissist's Dream, because the only thing this song could use more of is me.
Right.
It's a joke.
Yeah, I get it. So now you don't have the looper with you, but you do have a drum with you.
I do.
And can you give us a little taste of what you do? Give us a little...
Sure.
Yeah, give us a little song here.
Yeah, well, the festival this weekend, Laugh Fest, they asked me to write a theme song for it. So I'll just give you a little bit of the chorus. Normally I do it with the guitar, but I'll use the drum. This is an Irish drum, it's a baron, played with a double-edged tipper and goat skin so I can get different tones. So the song is called Yes to Life, which is the theme of the event. So it goes like this. I'm saying yes to life, I'm saying yes to love, I'm saying yes to peace, I'm saying yes to joy, I'm saying yes to possibilities, I've got to see, I'm saying yes to you, I'm saying yes to me.
Wonderful. Nice job.
Oh, thank you. All right. Just a little taste of it.
Quick and pretty. Now, if people want to get like more of your free music, or if they want to find your event schedule, how do they go about doing that, Celia?
You want to find out where I'm doing things, CeliaOnline.com.
Okay.
And if you want free music, I have 3 free songs by going to CeliaSings.com. Free songs. I have so much music. I love to share it and introduce people to this wonderful world that I get to live in. So CeliaSings.com.
So many people are drawn to doing what they do, and I'm imagining you're one of those people. Why do you do what you do?
Oh, yes. What a question. Yes. Why? That is the
Why?
question, isn't
Yeah.
it? Well, you know, I am a fan of Woody Guthrie and a quote that I'll just paraphrase. He says, it's not how good a song is, it's what good a song does. So I love that music and laughter is, to me, it's like medicine. It's some of the most accessible things that we can do to feel good in our experience. And I just recently had an opportunity to contribute a song to something called the Green Album. 14 artists came together, wrote songs specifically to honor the earth and the mother and green everything. And I wrote a little verse of this song, which I think encapsulates it. So I'll sing it a cappella quickly. I will not waste my breath on talking small. I dedicate my voice to the love of it all. And I still believe in love and peace. And I have given my whole life to this dream.
Check her out, Celia online, and check her out live as well. We'll have more Talk of the Town right after this. Thanks, Celia.
Thank you, Rich.
I think what makes Talk of the Town so much fun is that it's like having a lot of good ingredients and then you wrap them all together and it makes for something really good. Kind of like making a burrito. That's how I look at it. Or maybe I'm just looking at it now as we have Abby Hansen here from Qdoba, and welcome on in, Abby.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. You know, I know people know about Qdoba and they're all over town and everybody loves eating at Qdoba.
Thank you.
But you guys do some catering too that people might not know about. So what are some of the catering options that you have?
That's a great question. So we've got we've got 4 actual catering options. We've got a hot taco bar, we've got a hot naked burrito bar, we've got a hot nacho bar, and then we also do box lunches. And I think you hit the nail on the head that a lot of people just come in and expect that we've got burritos and taco salads and everything in between in our restaurants. But yeah, we've got a catering segment that's a huge part of our business that's always fun to tell people about.
I don't think I ever get past the burritos. I didn't know there was anything else on your menu but burritos. When I'm going to Qdoba, I'm getting a burrito. So a catering menu then, if someone was going to take a look at your catering menu, you name some of the options and stuff like that. What does that actually all entail? It's a naked burrito bar, stuff like that. What does that menu look like?
Well, and that's actually our most popular option. So a naked burrito is our burrito bowl. So when you come into a restaurant, it's everything that would go into a burrito, but we put it in a bowl to make it much easier to eat. So we replicate that in a catering bar. So it's everything, much like when you would walk into one of our restaurants, we put the options right in front of a guest. And so we provide you with a couple different rice options, a couple different bean options. We've got chicken and steak. And then we've got all the toppings that go on top of that burrito bowl. So guacamole, salsas, cheese, sour cream, lettuce, everything like that. And that comes with chips on the side too. So people love to dunk the chips into the naked burrito, or they love to top it and make some nachos with it. So the naked burrito bar is our most popular option just because it plays into a lot of different varieties. The other thing that's really great about the naked burrito bar is that it's really dietary friendly. So if there's somebody that's vegan or vegetarian or has certain dietary restrictions, it works really well for multiple different guests at a party.
Yeah, choices for everybody. That's great.
Absolutely.
So now, who are some of the people that you actually partner with and cater to in the Madison area?
That's a great question. So we are a sponsor of UW Athletics. So we do a lot of catering with UW Health Systems, PPD, Trek, Epic, Kuna Mutual, all over, everything from large to small and everything in between.
Yeah, I'm actually glad that you mentioned that with UW. Sometimes I work for the UW part-time and do some announcing over there, and we've had Qdoba. That's wonderful. Yeah.
They're a great partner to have. The reciprocation is mutual. So.
Yeah, that's great. So what are some of the events that you will typically cater as well? I mean, can it be just about anything?
Absolutely. If you name it, we'll come to it. We've done birthday parties, we've done graduation parties, we've done just an average business luncheon. So if you guys were getting catering here for today because it's a fabulous Tuesday, we would bring lunch in for that. We would do retirement parties, we've done wedding showers, we've done weddings.
Wow.
PPD had us out last summer, and I think we did close to 650 people for just an employee appreciation lunch. So really kind of anything in between, we'd love to be there and we'll make it happen.
That's terrific. So much of catering too is making sure that, and having been in the restaurant business, it's getting it right, making sure that the food is great on site. How do you actually ensure that it's always a great experience then for people when they are tasting your catered food, which is a little bit tougher to do outside of the restaurant?
And I think you hit the nail on the head again, is that it's all about that experience. And so we start with the guest in mind. We've got a dedicated team of catering specialists that are local, and they actually work in our office, and they take all of the orders. And so what they really think about is who is attending these events? Who are we feeding? Are we feeding a team of high school football players, or are we feeding a luncheon after a bridal shower, something like that? So it's going to be a little bit different, tailored to each guest, and we really kind of keep that in mind. And so first of all, it starts with placing the right order. Are we putting the right food for the right people? And then after we've taken the right order, it's really kind of what happens in the restaurant. And that's where the magic happens. How do we operate and how do we put together that order? How do we make sure that everything is perfect? And again, in the restaurants, we think about putting that guest first. And so how would they want to receive the food? What is the story that they're going to tell once they receive that food? We always want that to be the best story possible. So we think a lot about that guest first.
I'm thinking too, about the logistics of it. I'm guessing you can't build all the catering stuff off of what you have online where people order and they see. So do you have to have like a catering kitchen? Is there something in the back? How do you do that?
We make magic happen. It actually does just kind of happen all in our restaurants. And
Really?
so the beauty is most of our catering comes out, it's executed before our lunch hour even hits. And so we're prepping sometimes at 6, 7, 8, 9 in the morning before our average lunch hour starts. And so it happens all right there. But again, we just make magic happen.
If someone wants to place an order, how do they do it, Abby?
It's really easy. It's 1-888-CATER-WI. So it's 1-888-228-3794.
Excellent stuff, and so is Qdoba. Check them out. Abby, thanks for being with us. We'll have more Talk of the Town right after this on Channel 57. And welcome back, and we're going to get into a topic right now that I actually have, and believe it or not, I know this might sound bad, a fear of. I have a fear of doing this, and for a reason I'll get to in just a second as we welcome in Ali Waldera from Bliss Flow Yoga. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And the reason I'm fearful of doing this, because every time I've tried, I am the least flexible person in the world. I've never come close to touching my toes. I cannot, it's just awful. People will tell me to do certain stretches. I can't even get close. So my question, Ali, is, do I have to be flexible to do yoga?
So it's actually the most popular question I get is, well, I'm not flexible, so I can't
Right.
do yoga. Well, you actually don't go to yoga because you are flexible. You go to yoga to become flexible and to help open your body up to prepare yourself for other sports and athletics that you play. So it's a really good pairing if you do any sort of other athletics to do a yoga practice, because you can help protect yourself from getting injuries.
Yeah, because I think I'm pretty wound up. Like I'll lift weights and I'll even run and stuff like that, but the stretching part I try to stay away from. So, bringing up stretching, is yoga just stretching?
So it's not just stretching. I know that's another thing. Another question I get is, well, I don't want to go and sit in a room and just stretch all the time. Well, come down to my Power Flow class, and we'll see if it's just stretching for you. That's usually what I tell people. And after their Power Flow class, you get that heart rate going, you get a nice sweat going.
Okay, so what does that mean? Your powerful class. What do you end up doing in that class?
So in a Power Flow class, it's a little bit faster paced than like a regular gentle flow or slow flow class. So we do lots of movements, lots of balance work, strength training, and a lot of core strengthening. So I like to focus a lot on our core strength. So we do a lot of core strength.
Okay, terrific. Which is, everybody talks about that, and that's a very healthy thing to do. What are your yoga classes like? So you mentioned like a few of them. You mentioned that one. What are some of the other ones that you do?
So I teach about 6 to 7 classes a week, and in the mornings I teach a yoga flow, which is a good beginner class that everybody can go to, but you can also go if you're more advanced. But I also teach a power flow, which is very advanced. It's very high energy, high pace, and we do lots of advanced postures, which is fun. Doesn't mean you can't try it if you're not a beginner, but some place to try. Also on Fridays we do a happy hour flow, which is really fun because we always have treats and snacks afterwards, and there's usually a fun playlist that goes along and a theme to go along with it. So we're usually doing something fun.
All right, how about for men? Because I'm guessing, when you think men, sometimes men are like, I don't know, yoga. Did you get a lot of men in your classes?
I actually do. A surprising amount of guys will be coming into class, and a lot of them are athletes looking to do something to help support the other athletic that they're doing. A lot of people who lift weights sometimes find themselves losing flexibility in certain parts of their body. So pairing like a weightlifting program with yoga can help open up where all that muscle mass is kind of not allowing that flexibility to happen.
Absolutely. So you talk about some of the aspects of it as far as benefits for yoga. So what are some of the other benefits besides being flexible?
So one of my favorites is in college, I made some poor choices about going out late at night. And so the next
never
day,
did that, no.
So the next day, doing a yoga practice, I noticed would really help me kind of cleanse and get rid of all that, the lack of sleep that I had, the stuff that maybe I shouldn't have been eating or drinking the night before. So I always like to say sometimes our yoga practice is very humbling because it can remind us of what we were doing 12 hours ago or maybe 4 hours ago. So if you just showed up to practice and you just ate a burrito, you might be feeling that burrito in class. So
We were just talking about burritos. I love burritos. But that's great. How has yoga overall, what would you say, how has it impacted your life?
well, it's definitely changed my life. I started as a dancer. For about 15 years I danced and played soccer and other sports. And I remember in college, I had a dance instructor who told me, why don't you go try something different, go try something different. So I tried a yoga class, and I was like, oh, I don't want to sit and stretch. And then I got my butt kicked in a yoga class, and I was like, I gotta try more of this. So I started gradually doing it, and I didn't start a daily practice until I went to a yoga studio, and I had one teacher tell me, practice yoga 3 times a week, and you'll change your body. Practice yoga every day, and you'll change your life. And it stuck with me, and it's never been more true, so.
Wow, great stuff.
Yeah.
So as far as classes at Bliss, what days do you offer classes on?
I teach Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, but you can always find me by making a private lesson. Otherwise, we have a whole selection of different kinds of classes and different types of classes. I like to say yoga teachers are like soup. Some days you feel like chicken noodles, sometimes you feel like vegan spicy chicken chili or something like that. So try out different instructors, try out different classes. You're gonna get a different experience, so it's nice to try out different stuff.
You look like you're ready to teach right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So, Allie, thanks for being here, and thanks for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you next time right here on Channel 57.